final Easy Odds Premier League videocast because it's the final game of the season, and literally it doesn't matter because nothing matters apart from the top four. So Arsenal, Liverpool are the only games that anyone's going to care about, but there's still money to be made. And you can be making that money with Coral, because if you open an account with them, they're offering 50 to 1 for a goal to be scored. So basically, they're giving you 50 to 1 because it's going to happen, obviously. Imagine if every game was 0-0 now, you'd be absolutely gutted. Absolutely gutted. So just open an account with Coral, and you'll get 51 that a goal is scored in the Premier League on the final day. Okay, let's start off with Arsenal versus Everton. Enormous game for Arsenal and Arsene Wenger. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Wenger out? Wenger in?
Are you Wenger in or Wenger out?
I don't care. Wenger in, probably. I like Wenger. Arsenal fans absolutely hate him, which kind of makes me like him. Piers Morgan hates him, that makes me like him even more.
I feel like if he loses the FA Cup final, he'll stay.
Yeah.
If he wins, he'll go.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And that's an exclusive. So on to his final Premier League game, possibly. At the Emirates, they've got home tie against Everton. And Everton are not a good side on the road. They haven't won any of their last 7 on the road, and they've also lost their last 3 at the Emirates Stadium as well, so they don't enjoy this fixture. But Arsenal, whilst they have kept 4 clean sheets in 6 games, they have not looked amazing at the back.
Mm-hmm.
Sunderland created a lot of chances.
They did, I thought that as well.
At the Emirates. It was only thanks to the magical hands of Petr Cech that they kept a clean sheet. And I would argue that Everton are a better side than Sunderland. So I think that Everton will score here, but Arsenal will win the game. So Arsenal to win, both teams to score 13-8. Pretty nice price.
Yes, very nice price. So hopefully Arsenal do win. I was thinking about this because my stepdad supports Man City. They're already in it, so I want them to go in the top 4, but they're pretty much definitely going to be in the top 4. Yep. I like Klopp, so I kind of want Liverpool to be in the top 4 as well. I wouldn't want them to not be in it, so I don't really know. And it'll be good for Arsenal because, you know, they were so unlikely, and you always want, they're kind of been an underdog for a while to get top 4, and you always want the underdog to win. So I don't know who I want in top 4.
And it will be a little bit of deja vu of Arsenal celebrating a top 4 finish.
I don't think they'll celebrate this time.
Seems to do it every single year.
They'll be angry.
There you go.
Next up, Burnley versus West Ham.
Yeah, battle of the Clarets. And I actually think West Ham are a decent price here, drawing a bet. Their best price there are 5-4 in that market.
Okay.
Whilst Burnley have got an excellent home record, of late they've only picked up 2 wins in the last 15 matches, both home and away, so they're not heading into this game with any kind of form at all. Whilst West Ham have actually only lost 1 of the last 6 matches, so backing West Ham to not lose this game will get money back for a draw, considering that they've also undefeated in their last 3 visits to Turf Moor. I think they're a nice price there, 5-4. Burnley, on their current run of 2 wins out of 15, you can't really trust them to win this game, even though they have won plenty of home matches this season. I'd rather back West Ham at a slightly worse price, with the caveat that you get your money back for a draw.
Not bad at all.
5-4.
Chelsea versus Sunderland next.
Yeah, next game. Talking to Stu in the office. He's a big Chelsea fan. He thinks that they're going to play another kind of makeshift team ahead of the FA Cup final next weekend. And if anyone saw that match, you would have seen a defence that did not look very good. Begovic in goal, not very good. John Terry, whilst an absolute legend, not very good anymore. So I do think that Sunderland have got a chance of scoring a goal, which is a big, big shout. But Jermaine Defoe is going to be his last game for Sunderland, without doubt. He's out of contract, he won't stay and play in the Championship. He's good enough to get a role in the Premier League. Whilst he's on a terrible dry spell at the moment, I do fancy him to get a goal here. It was only thanks to an amazing save from Petr Cech in midweek that stopped him when he rifled in an angled shot,
really good shot
that looked like it was going in, but somehow Cech saved it. I do think that up against that makeshift team that conceded 3 against Watford at home, not many teams concede 3 against Watford at home. So I do think that he'll get at least 1 decent chance, and I think at 9-2, I think that's a really good price. That's a big price, almost 5-1 on one of the better strikers in the Premier League to score a goal up against a makeshift Chelsea team.
I wonder what price Sunderland will be. They were 28-1 to beat Arsenal.
That's probably a very big price.
I've never seen a team 28-1, even if it's like Man United versus Exeter. It's still Exeter won't be 28-1.
I think that's quite an indictment on how good they've been this season.
Yeah. Next up, Hull versus Spurs.
Yeah, Hull have got to play at Spurs side, who were absolutely rampant last night in the game against Leicester. Looked just absolutely brilliant. Harry Kane is having an absolute storming up season. He was 2 behind Romelu Lukaku in the Premier League Golden Boot race, but previous to that game, and then he went and scored 4 goals. So now he's up to 32 goals in all competitions, and he's 2 goals ahead of Lukaku here. So we'll be desperate to keep scoring goals to try and get that Golden Boot. And I do think that Spurs will win. So I think Tottenham to win and Harry Kane to score at 11-8 is a good price.
Yeah, Tottenham have been mental. They're just not letting off at all. Leicester versus Bournemouth.
Yeah, this one looks a bit of a banker for me, Jake. Both teams to score, fairly short price, 20 to 33, but both teams to score looks an absolute banker. Leicester conceded no less than 6 goals on Thursday, and Bournemouth have conceded more than all but 3 Premier League teams on the road this season. So that's two teams that are quite like scoring goals, but even more like conceding them. So both teams to score, 20 to 33 in Leicester v Bournemouth.
Okay. Liverpool versus Middlesbrough, enormous game for Liverpool.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about this for my fantasy team actually. Middlesbrough are terrible.
Middlesbrough are not
and
that great.
Liverpool are going to win, aren't they?
They are going to win. Although Middlesbrough will play a particularly defensive side here, they don't want to get hammered going into the Championship next season on the final day, so they're going to try and play two blocks of 4, try and keep it tight at the back. But Liverpool already know this, and they're going to have to try and start fast, and I think hopefully they'll get an early goal and then they'll just win at a counter from there, and then that will have no nerves around Anfield, because there has been in recent matches there's a certain nervousness about Anfield. I can see a freedom about Liverpool away from home, but at home they seem a little bit stifled. I'm not entirely sure if it was expectation from the crowd or whatnot, but I do feel that can be completely shunned if they start early, get the goal early, play on the front foot from the off. So for them to win both halves here, even money, I think that's a pretty decent price.
Yes. Okay. Man United versus Crystal Palace. Man United just do not care about the league. They haven't done for about 3 months.
I did quite enjoy when Jose Mourinho got interviewed after the loss at Arsenal, and he basically said that he didn't care.
Yeah, he said he didn't care.
And he congratulated Arsenal, and he said that it's nice for Arsenal to have something to cheer about.
Didn't he ask...
It's beautifully condescending.
He asked Big Sam to go easy on them as well, because they got Europa.
He did.
My God, what an idiot.
He's quite the character, isn't he? So I do think Crystal Palace drawing a bet here at 11-10, nice price. Man United have only won 7 matches at Old Trafford this season in the Premier League. Only 3 sides this season have won less than them.
Okay.
That's an absolutely horrid record for a stage as big and as grand and as beautiful as Old Trafford. To have only won 7 matches there all season long, that is not good at all. With that in mind, and knowing that all the focus, as you say, is on next week's Europa League final, I think backing the Eagles in the draw no bet market is a nice touch at 11-10. Even with their horrible showing last time out in Manchester, where they travelled to Man City and lost 5-0, but that's a Man City team with a bit of form. They went there, of course, and they've showed in matches afterwards that Man City are a decent side going forward, of course.
Gabriel Jesus
is looking very, very good.
He's unreal.
Whereas Man United at home, with only 7 wins, they absolutely love drawing at Old Trafford. I can't imagine how many times they've drawn at Old Trafford this season. So draw no bet, so you can win money with an 11-10 shot on a Eagles win, or get your money back for a draw.
Okay, Southampton versus Stoke. It's the second to last game.
Yep, it's at the St Mary's, and we are going for a pretty dull match here. Under 2.5 goals, I think there's a nice price there at 11-10. Okay. So Southampton have only scored 17 home goals this season. Only Middlesbrough have managed less, which is not good if you've got a season ticket at St Mary's. Which is an average of less than 1 goal a game, and exactly the same Stoke away from home, averaging less than a goal a game. So I think under 2.5 goals there is a really nice price at 11-10.
Final game of the season, Swansea versus West Brom.
Yeah, Swansea versus West Brom, and I think Swansea to win here is a nice price as well. 8-7 with Super Lenny with their weird prices. West Brom have picked up just 2 points from 8 games, whilst Swansea have picked up 10 points from possible 12 in their fight from survival, and they managed it under their man Paul Clement, who you know plenty about, of course.
Great
It should be a
manager.
party atmosphere at the Liberty as they celebrate it. And under Clement, they've actually picked up 26 points from 19 games, so he's really done a good job there.
Yeah.
And I think up against a West Brom team that have been on the beach for a long, long time, and they still sit in 8th place, which is mental, because they haven't been playing for about the last month and a half. So yeah,
Have they scored?
they scored against Man City, didn't they?
Gareth McCall.
Yeah, unfortunately he's injured. So yeah,
Oh, no.
8-7, Swansea to win.
Oh no, poor Gareth McCauley, missed the
know.
last game of the season. Poor bloke. Okay, so that's the end.
Oh, we missed one.
Oh, did we?
Watford v Man City.
Oh, okay.
One more. Let's
It's
squeeze in one
kind
more.
of important because Man City need to win still, don't they? They'll probably put out an alright team.
Yeah, they'll play Aguero and Jesus, so they should be fine.
Yeah. No one else.
So yeah, this one, another one of my favourite bets. Let's end the season with my favourite bet.
Yeah.
Man City to win, both teams to score, 13-8. Watford conceded 4 in midweek, and they had their defender Sebastian Prodl sent off, so he'll be a loss. Defensively, so I expect a rampant Man City team at the moment to score plenty at Vicarage Road, but I don't fancy them to keep a clean sheet. They've only kept their opponents out in 3 of their last 12 games in all competitions, so Watford will probably score, and of course they did score 3 goals in midweek as well, so they've got goals in them at the moment. So Man City to win, both teams to score, caps off the season at 13-8.
Okay, that's actually the final game. That's
There you
actually
go.
the final game we'll be looking at. I just missed it somehow. But yeah, thanks for everyone for watching for the entire season. Hopefully made a bit of profit.
We'll be back next week with a review kind of my previews for the season and how they went, blah blah blah. So that's something to look at. And also next week we'll probably do our reaction video of the goals of the season.
Thanks very much for watching. Remember to sign up for the Coral. We'll get 50 to 1 that a goal is scored. So basically 50 to 1 just for nothing.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So yeah, thanks very much for watching. I'm Jake Johns, this is Ross Casey. Remember to subscribe, like the video and comment. Bye.
Woof woof.